Thanks for checking out my Northwest Registered Agent step-by-step tutorial. Here I'm going to be showing you how to set up an LLC with this company. It's fairly straightforward to do, and I highly recommend that you click the link in the description or the pinned comment. If you do, you'll get taken to this very unique page where, as you can see, you can get a $39 business formation service, so you can form your LLC, corporation, or nonprofit today. So when you arrive on this page, all you want to do is simply click on the Get Started button right here. Alright, and before we begin, I do want to let you know that I am not a lawyer, and even if I was, I wouldn't be your lawyer specifically. I am a dude who has created a few LLCs, and I want to give you my insight into some of the options that you can choose from, as well as another way that you can save money as we go on that I think you're really going to enjoy. So, first and foremost, what type of business would you like to start? Most people here are going to be doing the LLC, or at least the tutorials that I am going through, but ideally you're going to know which one you want to do right off the bat. I'm going to keep it on LLC for this. So, where would you like to form your business? Keep in mind that the fees are going to be different based upon where you are. So, if I go to Florida here, you're going to see it's going to be $125. If I go to, say, Connecticut, where I used to live, you can have $120 or $170 for the expedited. So, prices can fluctuate, and that's just simply based upon the state. So, just something for you to know right there. Okay, so once you pick your state, simply click on Continue. Alright, so what would you like your business name to be? If you need any suggestions here, I like doing something that's a play on words and even spelled incorrectly sometimes. So for example, my channel is Marketing Island. This is a combination of the M plus the island with a Z at the end. Okay, so it's a little bit unique. That's an easier way to create one. If you already have one, like I used to just do my first and last name with personal training and LLC and so on and so forth. So you can take some time to think about that, but if you already know what it's going to be, you can just put it in right there. Send a copy of lawsuits and legal notices to your attorney. You can do no if you don't have one. Clearly, you can just do no there. If yes, clearly check that off. You can use a generic business purpose. So if you turn this on, it's going to be using generic. If you already have an idea of what you're going to be doing, like the purpose of it, which includes but is not limited to, you can add it in there. Okay, so that's up to you, or you can just go with generic at the time if you feel you might be doing multiple things or you just want it to be generic in the first place. So next you have your physical address that you want to record with the state. So if you click right here, it says the principal office address is a relic of ancient times when you had file cabinets full of very important corporate paperwork. Now that we have things called computers and files that can reside where you are, I love their wittiness, okay? The principal address is a pointless requirement that no one will ever have the time or inclination to clean up in a corporate statutes. We allow our clients to list our local office address as the principal office address on public records. We're the only incorporation service that does so, which is pretty unique if you ask me. So if you want to just go with their registered agent address, you can certainly do that. You can also do it with the mailing address that you want to record with the state. So that's pretty unique how they get to do that. So that's something I would personally do. However, you can do your mailing address or specify a specific address. Okay, next let's click on Continue. All right, so here we're going to be looking at the management type, whether it's member managed or manager managed. Now, the majority of people, like if you know you're going to be a solopreneur, probably member managed is going to be good for you. If you're having more of managers going to be doing their thing, manager is going to come in. If you click right here, it's going to kind of explain the details very quickly, which I'll go through. So members are the LLC owners, and most small businesses LLCs choose to be member managed. For me specifically, I am member managed. This is the simplest structure and easiest to understand. This gives the owners the ability to make any and all decisions for the LLC. On the other side, when you have the manager managed LLC, the members or owners can elect who the managers will be. The managers have the right to bind the company and make decisions. So if you're going to be going through and say you're going to be using managers, that is something to look into, like that you might want to do. But if you know maybe it's just going to be you're like a solopreneur and you want the easiest and simplest structure, then the simple member manage is going to be good. So pick whichever one is going to be good for you. So you can list the members or managers with the state here. So if you want to list it with the state, it says many financial institutes require the names and addresses of persons authorized to manage the limited liability company be listed on the state's records in order for the business entity to open a bank account. So just the biggest thing right here, I would recommend doing list specifically because it's going to be easier to say open a bank account. If you go with omit members and managers with the state, you're going to be more private, but as it says right here, you might have trouble opening a bank account. If you choose to omit, you are often required by law to have this information on file. Don't worry though, if you choose to omit, your name will not appear on the state records, and we do not disclose or sell your information to anyone. So if you do want to be a little bit more private, you can do that, but you may have a little bit more trouble opening a bank account. That's going to be like the caveat there, but list with state if you want to have the easiest way of going about doing it. Here, once again, first name and last name of you. If you want to add more members, you can do that, but just for this, put in your first name. I'm just going to do first. This is an example. And last, whatever it's going to be. And once again, if you just want to use their registered agent address, you can definitely do that. So you can add more members if needed. So simply put your first name, your last name, choose where the address to record with the state's going to be, and click on continue. All right, we have some pretty straightforward details here. First name, last name, this is all the basics. So enter this information in, click on continue. Next is going to be your account setup. So you have your email address and your password. Make sure you use a legit one so that you can get all the notifications that you need to your inbox. Go ahead and enter the information with this and then simply click on continue. All right, next we have our business identity. This is where even more of my expertise is going to come in. So you can get a free business domain name for 1 year plus 90-day free trials for a business website, business email, and business phone number. It says that are each $9 a month after the free trial ends. You can keep all the services active and get a bulk 20% discount for a combined monthly payment of just $21.60. So overall, this isn't, too bad of a deal. You can obviously do uncheck this and do a la carte if you just want one or specific one or two or three, whatever it's going to be. But in my opinion, I think that Northwest Registered Agent is fantastic for setting up LLCs. In my opinion, there are much better options when it comes to doing this. Just because I deal with websites and WordPress and hosting so much, we can get them probably even a better deal for this. So if you want to get this, I'm not going to knock you for it. I just think that there's better options, and I just want to be as straightforward as possible. So if you do want maybe one of these while you're here, feel free to. I just think that there are better options. And if you do have any questions with that, simply leave a comment down below. Okay, so once you are done, whether you want to use this or not, or maybe just want to pick one or two, choose what you want and then simply click on continue. All right, so here's where I can save you even more money in the process. So a tax ID is going to be an EIN, which is very important. Now, you can choose to get it from here. So if you turn this on, if you have a social, it's going to be 50. If you do not have a social, it's going to be 200, as you can see added on. Now, in my opinion, I would definitely get an EIN. However, I would recommend turning this off because if you go to the IRS website, you're going to see right here, you can get an employer identification number, an EIN. If I type in this and I do free, you can see, get it from the IRS in minutes for free. Okay, so this is something you can completely do yourself if you want. What I would recommend is getting your LLC and then going through and applying after. It's not going to take too long, so there is just the option to do it for free. And a lot of people might ask, well, James, how come they are offering the ability to do it, and have you pay for it? Isn't that not cool? In my opinion, the idea of having Northwest Registered Agent do a lot of this for you is that you don't have to do much of it yourself. So if you want to spend, the certain amount of money to have them just file it for you, you can do that. I'm certainly not against doing it. I just want to show you the option where if you don't want to pay $50 or $200, you have the ability to get it for free from the irs.gov website. And I will also link that down below in the description as well, so you can use that if needed. Next, we have the S-Corp election with the IRS. So if I click right here, it says an S-Corp is a tax designation granted by the IRS that can be advantageous for some businesses. If you elect to be S-Corp, your company will be taxed differently and will be required to meet and maintain certain requirements. So this is pursued most often by the LLCs. We can prepare and obtain your S-Corp election from the IRS. In my opinion, if you are just getting started and you're not going to be making a significant amount of money, ballpark, I'd say around $100,000, you probably don't need to be doing this right away. So I know a lot of people are just getting started, they're solopreneurs, they're probably not going to be hitting 100,000 right away. That's just the ballpark too. So if you're not going to be anywhere near it, my recommendation would be to not do that. But if there are any other reasons, you have more information about your business than I do. So if there's any other reasons why you might want to use that, then you definitely could, but that's just going to be my advice there. They do have a premium mail service right here, so it can be premium mail forwarding in a virtual office. If you do want to use any of these, you do have the ability to do so. It talks about if you hire us for the service, we'll handle all of your business's flat mail and so on and so forth. So if I click on this right here, you're going to see that this is going to be $20 a month for the premium mail forwarding, and the virtual office as well is going to be $29 a month for unlimited mail forwarding, a unique mailing address and suite number in a commercial building, a month-to-month office lease, and so on and so you get a good amount there. If you need any of that, I think it's pretty straightforward. You can add it or just not add it, okay? Trademark service, if you're going to be doing anything that needs a trademark, all in all, you're looking at $599 extra. Plus, they do have trademark monitoring as well. So if you click on this, it's going to be free for the first 90 days and then only $14 a month. And I think you're going to know if you need a trademark service or not, so that's pretty self-explanatory. Next, we have a trade name, which is doing business as. Is a name or a pseudonym is like a pseudonym for your business that allows you to do business under a different name without forming a new business entity. We can file this for $125 plus the state fee. So once again, if you want a DBA as well, that might be different based upon the specific state fee. So you can turn that on or off. So once you've picked everything you do or don't want to use, simply click on the continue button. Alright, so we've made it to the last part where all you need to do is add in your payment information here. I can quickly go over the order summary. Remember, by using my link there, you get that $39 package, which is fantastic. You're looking at the processing fee, which this is going to fluctuate based upon the state that you are. And then there's compliance filing. This is good because it says you can know a professional has filed these. They'll help protect your privacy. Keep in mind that they charge no initial fees to enroll in the service, and then 90 days before your filing is due, we send you an online notification of the upcoming deadline. Then it says 5 days later, we will automatically file your business's compliance report and charge your card the required state fees. These vary by state, plus $100 for our compliance filing services. It also says right here, if you ever decide you want to cancel this automatic compliance filing service, you can do so in your online account at any time. So I just wanted to let you know of that's what the compliance filing is going to be all about. So once you are done, simply enter in your information, check this out to make sure it looks good, and simply click on done, and you, my friend, are going to be good to go. And that is going to conclude my Northwest Registered Agent step-by-step tutorial about how you can get up and running with starting your LLC. I hope this really helped you out and answered as many questions as possible. And of course, if you didn't get to follow along and you would like to right now, be sure to click that link in the description or the pinned comment so you can get to this unique page where you get your $39 business formation service. My name is James. Thank you so much for watching, and best of luck when launching your new business.